My friends, I'd like to remind you all that our rallies happen here at 10 Downing Street every single week. On Wednesdays at 6 o'clock, on Fridays at 6 o'clock, and on Sundays, 3 o'clock. Please come here, thank you very much. Please come here and show your support whenever you can. It's unbelievably important that we use the power of freedom of speech, power that we still have right now, power that the terrorist Russian regime would prefer and would love to take away from the whole world. A power, however, that we still possess, a power that many people died for, many people suffered for. So let's not forget about this. Let's not forget about these privileges of the ability to speak, of the ability to not fear for your life tomorrow, independently of whatever you want to say. Let's remember those who fought for these rights. Let's remember those who died for these rights. And let's do this in their honor also. Because we will continue to move into the future. But to be able to move into the future, we need to know the past, so that we never commit the mistakes made before again. That, my friends, is our message. But to simplify it once more, for anybody who does not know what's going on, or perhaps does not want to know, the message is as follows. Russia started this war. Russia has escalated this war. And the only way to stop this war is to stop Russia once and for all. So that this war ends not for a day, not for a month, not for a year, but forever. And the only way for us to do that is not only to help Ukraine survive, but to help Ukraine win. And when Ukraine wins, this time, we cannot simply stand aside and let Russia solve their own problems. They can't do that. They have proven themselves to be an irresponsible and impulsive country. We cannot allow another communist revolution to happen in Russia. It's not going to end well. The West needs to spread its influence to Russia. Sometimes we hear about global warming, very oft times, in fact. And these concerns are legitimate and important. However, there is one thing that we need to understand, my friends. It's that as long as terrorist regimes like Russia exist, humanity will never be able to do the same thing to prevent a climate collapse. Russia has created a disaster in the south of Ukraine by blowing up the Novokakhovka Dam, an ecocide of huge proportions. The local wildlife exterminated simply because the Russians wanted to delay the Ukrainians a little bit more. It was almost a futile thing to do. However, they still did it. And that is something we need to understand. The Russians will do the damage that they can. They will use every power at their disposal to hurt those around them, to destroy those around them. Unless they feel like the consequences for doing whatever they want to do will be overwhelming. And that is the only thing that could ever make Russia stop. Consequence. To finally show them that there is no victory in front of them, no possibility for their triumph. That is the only way to finally break the spirit of the Russian terrorist regime and to finally stop this war once and for all. And one thing that we must certainly not do is to allow politics to get in the way between us and the future. To allow this bipartisan idea that has been spreading around the West to get in our way. And we must most certainly not allow certain individuals who speak idiotic statements like that that they will end this war in 2 days. Go to power. We must not allow power to fall into their hands. I will not say any names. Not this time. However, we all know who we are talking about right here, my friends. If somebody promises unreasonable things, if somebody makes huge promises, or as we say in Ukraine, promises you golden mountains, then most likely that person is not trustworthy. Most likely that person cannot be trusted with your future, because that person clearly does not have a plan on how to get to those golden mountains. And it's a little bit difficult to make a plan to get to something that does not exist. And that is why, my friends, ideas of the sort of influencing and encouraging and using diplomacy to end this war in 2 days or 2 weeks or a month are meaningless, are stupid, are a mere way for these demagogues to take power, to put themselves in charge and to fill up their pockets with the money of the country they're ruling. We must remember that, so that no more politicians like Robert Fico or Viktor Orban will ever take the world stage, because these individuals are traitors, these individuals are liars, and these individuals are the biggest sign of the weakness of the West. They are the real hope of Russia. Russia knows it can never beat the Western military in a fair field of battle, but they also know that they have a more robust way of resisting against these turmoils. Democracies can be corrupted with enough bribes being sent to flood the system. But Russia does not have real democracy. Russia does not have real elections. Look where the candidates are. They're either in jail or dead. And whatever they have left is simply controlled opposition. Who would ever believe that the Russians will allow their people to vote nowadays? Why is it that the Russian mothers who have been protesting for months now to return their sons are being prosecuted? Why is it that Russian wives who have been protesting and encouraging and begging their terrorist regime to return their husbands home have been silenced? They haven't been put in jail yet, at least not all of them. However, we're getting there. And eventually, even they will not be able to speak. And this is a moment in which even the Russians need to finally realize that it's in their benefit to get themselves out of Ukraine for good. And that is the message that we would like to send them. Because unlike their terrorist regime, we never planned any genocides. We never planned any exterminations. We don't seek revenge. We seek peace. But the only way to achieve that peace is for the Russian terrorist regime's government to fall. No other way. And no more compromises with terrorist states. Slava Ukraini! Slava нації! Україна! 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 Героям України тричі! Ворогам України тричі! Now, my friends, we will end this rally the same way that we have started it, with the Ukrainian anthem.
Слава, ні воля, ще нам, браття українці, усміхнеться доля. Згинуть наші вороженьки, як роса на сонці. козацького роду, душу й тіло ми положим за нашу свободу і покажем, що ми браття козацького роду.
Слава Україні! Героям слава! Слава нації! Смерть ворогам! Україна! 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 Героям України тричі! Слава! 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 Дякую.
Дякуємо.